As you spin this person around, grab onto their lapels, you see a flash of anger in their eyes, but this is not anger of someone being grabbed and handled in a way they don't want. This is something much deeper than that. You see a flash of literal red that goes from their eyes and almost echoes out of it. And as they open their mouth, you see a small smile. That anger kind of dissipates, their eyes return to normal, and a small smile creeps up their mouth, and they go, "Oh, honey. No, no, no. That's not how I play." And you see their fangs distend. And as you're holding on to their body, they reach forward, grab onto your head, and move to bite you.
Do we see any of this through Bingus? And by we, I mean, does Jaimal see any of this through Bingus?
Jaimal, you see from the top, you see this person being spun around by Viper, grabs onto Viper's head and moves in. As the fangs distend, you see a flash as these eyes go red. Go ahead and roll me a intelligence check with your Neo dice as this person attacks.
Fuck, where'd that one go? 4, 3, 2, and 1. One success.
There's one success in there. They're going to roll an attack. That is 2 6s and a 1.
Oh, no.
As
We're screwed.
this J creature bites hard into Viper's neck, you feel a sickly sucking out of you. And Jaimal, as you look down, you see a flash of your own face. As your face seems to disappear momentarily, a visage of Viper's face appears. And then as it disappears and is going back to your face, you see, almost scanning down, 2 very familiar eyes as the visage of Viper goes away, and before the visage of you comes back on, you see Brett's face with fangs distended, biting into your friend as he pulls back.
Brett.
Viper, you're taking 2 hits, so your guard's going to decrease by 2.
Okay.
Silvera immediately screams, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" and runs backwards. It is your turn.
Okay, so my guard is decreased by 2. Okay. I'd like to... Okay, get bit in the neck, then I'd like to just go totally, like, limp, no bones, and drop to the ground as I karate chop up into his balls.
Yeah.
Going boneless!
Go ahead and roll an attack.
Go boneless.
I'll say, yeah, for doing a dead drop, you get to add your full dice for sure.
Okay. We got the full dice and an attack. Okay, I got a 6, 2 1s, and a 4.
Ooh.
Any circles or crosses on your full dice?
No circles or crosses yet,
So
but I will add 2 more circles.
Yes, because of your special. So those are 2 successes. As you fly down, smack him directly in the balls, you hear Jaimal's voice come out and then break, like pitch up into your voice and then pitch down into Brett's voice. And you hear, "Oh, dude, oh, fuck, why?" You knock him down to guard as he's pulled back. As you rear back, you see the face is flickering between parts of your face, parts of Jaimal's face, and parts of Brett's face in this weird menagerie of features as you see your nose, Brett's eyes, Jaimal's mouth all getting scattered like this weird Rubik's Cube trying to solve itself as he's fighting off this pain. Jaimal, from the other room, through Bingus's eyes, you see this happening and you see this menagerie of features flickering back and forth. What do you do?
Oh, that's vampire that kind of looks like Brett. I don't know if it's exactly Brett, but it's vampire. We have to go back.
Back where? What's happening?
Backstage. We go backstage.
Brett is backstage?
No, it's a vampire. It's a vampire that looks like Brett. I don't think it's Brett. Good. We have to go help Viper.
Okay, I'm just gonna stand up and run.
Yes, go run.
Yeah, just like clamber over the table and immediately sprint for the backstage area.
You guys immediately sprint to the backstage area. as you do, you're like bashing through children as they're just like flying out in all directions. You guys are going through like, this cartoon where like people are just flying out of the way.
Yeah. I know you're not really a child, but I still feel bad.
It's okay, you don't feel bad. I'm 500
You're
years
definitely old
old.
enough to be my great-great-great-great-grandfather, but...
I've lived many lives! We all contain multitudes. You guys barrel through. And as you do, you clock crepes kind of give you guys a weird look as you barge into the back. As you tear open the curtain, this scene is revealed to the tavern as this like menagerie of faces, this phantasmagoria of features and things are on display. The entire bar just kind of like goes quiet for a second, goes, the fuck? A couple more super fans, groupies pass out because they don't know what to do. I'm going to say that movement is your guys' turn. So we are back to Brett's turn. Brett looks at Viper and goes, fucking dude, why are you trying to blow up my spot, man? Come on. Just be cool. I've got a good thing going here. So, fuck you. And it's going to reach forward and try to bite into you again.
Fuck you, man. I'm gonna whip around and just, from my like limp bones, I'm just gonna headbutt him.
As he reaches down, he grabs into you. He rolled 2 6s and a 2.
Oh, no.
He bites hard into your neck. You're going to take an additional 2 hits. So your guard, if it goes down to 0, you now take a wound.
My guard is down to 0, and I'll take 1 wound.
Oh no.
He
That's not good.
bites into you. As you fly up, you headbutt him. Go ahead and make an attack.
Okay. Come on. Oh my god. A 5, 2 2s, and a 3.
5, 2 2s, and 3. Any circles or X's?
No circles or X's.
Man, crazy.
I know.
As he bites into you, you pull off him instinctively and slam directly into his chin. He flies backwards, and you see his guard is down. So his guard is at 0. He just has his health left up. He stumbles back, goes, fucking what the fuck, man? Come on, I was having a chill fucking time. You guys gotta come in and ruin it. He clocks over and sees Jayamal. Yo, fuck you, man. I was almost done with you. And you see he kind of like sucks in. Jayamal, you feel a small tether of something attached to you almost pull a little bit as you see the J face fully reforms, and you feel yourself getting just a little bit weaker as he seems to be sucking from you.
I knew this guy was bad news.
This guy sucks.
Literally.
Literally. We are at the top of the order with everyone else who came in. I'm going to say, Egrin, why don't you go ahead and make the first move here?
Yeah, I think they ran in a panic, and seeing all of this go to head, they very suddenly become very calm. I think their face almost goes slack, and they move with just ridiculous speed. And I'm going to just go for using my death touch. It doesn't say it has to be my hand. It just says my touch causes death.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go run up to them and just do like a perfect roundhouse kick to the side of their head.
Ooh.
Go ahead and make an attack.
4-6-6.
You spin around, roundhouse kick, slam the side of your boot into his face, and you see as you hit him, this burst of death energy hits the side of his face, like flays the side of his face off, and you see the partially formed visage of Viper flies off, and almost like you see 3 heads for a moment. You see the Brett, the like quarter formed Viper, and the almost fully formed Jayamal like fly out. The Viper and the Jayamal dissipate and like fly off, and he slams into the wall in this big ass crater and crumples to the floor.
Ooh. And then I stand up straight, and like a switch, emotion just comes back to my face. I'm like, oh. I nudge him. He's dead. Just nudging him with my foot.
As you give him a little nudge, as you kicked him, felt the life go out of this thing. You saw the visages of his victims that he was draining appear and vanish. You instinctively know that means this creature died. As you nudge it, you remember that vampires are not creatures of life. They are creatures of undeath. As you nudge it, he, almost like something straight out of like The Conjuring or a horror movie, stands up, flies to the ceiling, and is stuck to the ceiling upside down. His head spins around fully and looks down at you and goes, you see just Brett's face dripping with blood, half of it like almost destroyed by your kick. I was so close to being him. I'll be back. And he is going to attempt to fly away. I will say, Jaimal, it is your turn as this creature attempts to flee in this like spectral version of themselves, like kind of like a evaporate into mist and disappear into the night. Is there anything you want to try to do in this moment?
Brett, don't go. Bingus, fetch.
Yeah, Bingus is still up in the curtains, right?
Bingus is still up in the curtains recording this whole thing. Go ahead and roll me I'll say a dexterity-based attack, and you can add in your Neo dice.
Cool. That's a 5, a 1, a 3, and God damn it, another 1.
No.
So his defense is 1, so you don't get a hit on. But with that attack, you see Bingus flies forward as Bingus is like momentarily entwined with this flying smoke. You see Brett kind of like appear from the smoke as his head and his hands kind of like appear out of nowhere and like grab Bingus and chuck him back at you. As you do, you see a little piece of Bingus's tail, like one of the spires, like one of the fur pieces, embeds itself in his hand, and you see a small blinking appear on your heads-up display as Brett flies out the window and vanishes into night.
So cool.
You see that blinking dot very quickly disappear off into the distance, but you know that you have a homing beacon on Brett.
Is everyone okay?
No.
Yeah, Viper, what happened?
This guy, he was a vampire. He
Okay.
bit me, turned into me a little bit, and it was not cool. He totally cock-blocked me with Sylvania.
I think her name was Silvira or
Is Silvera still in here?
Silvera is in here. You see that she was actually, you know what? I'm gonna roll a little thing for Silvera. Let's see. Yeah. She freaked out, like hid in the corner, popped back out just in time to see Viper land 2 awesome hits of one directly to the nuts and one right up. So saw the whole thing. You see her freak out for a moment and then go, and kind of just like fly back over and just like grab Viper by the arm and goes, I didn't know you were so capable and strong.
So, Vera, what was that thing?
Yeah, you said you've come here, seen this guy perform before. You know anything about him?
He showed up a while ago. He's been performing here for a while. He always brings down the house, and I mean, I swear he gets like better every day. It's amazing. I mean, the first time I saw him, he was, kind of crap, but it was just a lot of kind of like, noise. You know what I mean? When someone does music, they're like, this is good. And they're like really confident, but it's like just noise. It was a lot of that. But then it kind of kept getting better. And I mean, I've got 2 albums,
What's his name?
Just called him Brett.
Fuck.
Oh, God. But all right.
It's funny, though.
This guy's trying to...
It seemed like a really douchey name when he started, but somehow, like, as he got better, it seemed like a cooler name. I don't know how. Yeah. I think he added, like, an extra T or maybe took away a T. Maybe there was an umlaut in there or something. I don't know, but it got way cooler when he got better. Like, his name, he seemed to get better when he was better. You know what I mean?
Totally. Well, this guy's got my face, Jay's face. We got to track him down. We got to find him.
Bob, again, do I understand that I kicked the faces out of him, or do I still think they're there?
You think as you saw like the faces and stuff like splatter against the wall, you think that you kicked out almost like a life essence out of him. So you think he's been like reset back to 0.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll just say, no, I think at the very least all of your faces are okay. I don't think they'll be able to use that. I kicked them pretty hard, and I kind of saw the faces kind of be eviscerated. So my guess is that they've almost like a factory reset. They have nothing at the moment.
Thanks, Ingrid. You're a mighty warrior.
Thank you.
As you say that, you see some like weird colored viscera on the wall that begins to like, you see something that's like bloody viscera on the wall, but then the blood kind of drips away and there is a like glowing pool of something that's just kind of stuck to the wall. One of them this kind of purpley blue and the other this kind of like goldeny yellow. The goldeny yellow pool is this like very big pool of stuff, and then this purpley blue just kind of has this like small whisper of stuff. And Viper and Jaimon, you guys feel a small tether to these pools of ichor that are stuck to the walls.
That's our goo, man.
You took your goo.
Cass, I dare you to touch it.
I'll touch it.
Viper, as you touch it, you feel it swirl around your arm and then kind of works its way up your sternum and to your mouth and kind of forces it down your mouth. But as it does, you feel it feels very gross. It feels immediately unpleasant. But immediately after that first unpleasant feeling, you feel a vitality return to your extremities that you didn't initially realize you were missing. Like you realize like you were a little slower than you had been out in the forest, and you immediately feel like that's come back to you.
I look up from like a cool crouched position, and where it went into my mouth, I look up and go, Stella got her goo back.
You see Silvera goes, I don't get that reference, but it's so funny. Jaima, what do you do?
Jamal goes, I don't want to touch it, like an old man not wanting to take his medicine.
Viper looks over to Kelly with an eye and's like, get him to take it. Get him to touch the goo.
No, time out. Like I think the goo might make you so that's like you're not an old man anymore. Like, don't you want to be strong? I think
Yes.
Bingus wants you to take it.
Okay. And then I touch it.
You touch the goo and it similarly flies around your arm. But rather than like Viper just had like a little bit of goo go in her mouth and it was like a little bit unpleasant for like a second. You've got a lot of goo going in your mouth. Very much not pleasant for longer than you would like. But as it comes into you, you feel your extremities kind of crink out a little bit. You feel that vitality return to you, but not all the way. You still feel something is missing as this is coming back to you. Your features unstretch a little bit. You feel a little bit more spring to your step, a little bit more, a little less creak to your elbows and your knees. But you guys look at Jay, and where you saw Viper go from being like a 9.5 back to a 10, you see Jaimal go from bad to only a little bit better.
Jamal, you're looking like so
Do I
so
look
good.
better?
Yeah, I think it made a really big
Oh,
difference.
yeah.
Yeah, Cass.
Yeah, I don't feel sad looking at you anymore.
Okay. I look better. Okay.
You see, off in the distance, there's one of the kids goes, "Hey, who's that old guy?"
God damn.
Maybe you catch a reflection of yourself in Bingus's like glint, and you see like how old you still are.
You liar.
No, it's
I
just
didn't
like
lie.
it's you
I
look
just said
you
I
look
don't
better.
feel sad looking at you anymore.
There's a market improvement, you know? We weren't starting from a great place, but it's definitely better.
Bingus like jumps. You kind of outstretch your arm, and Bingus holds out his arm, and from his arm he kind of swirls around, and it becomes a mirror. So you see yourself, and you're like, "Oh no!" But then that mirror splits in half, and you see Bingus's photo roll, which is just all pictures of you, in the same way that like we have all pictures of our cats. And he scrolls through and shows you a side by side of like you formerly and you now, and you still look bad. You still look old, but you do feel like your wrinkles have gone up. Your eyes are less hollow. Your hair has just like, there's a little bit more hair. You still got like a pretty, balding situation going on, but it's like you could hide it under a hat, whereas like before you definitely couldn't.
It's like you did a month-long skin and hair regimen, sort of.
Exactly.
No,
Been hitting the keratin.
not the keratin.
Is Viper is hurt still though, correct?
Yeah, I'm at 1 health.
Yeah,
if I take another hit, I'm gonna die. I need it healed.
I clock Viper's neck injury, and I would like to attempt to heal that.
Thanks, man.
You feel that familiar sensation as you put your hand over her neck, as the inevitability is kind of forced forward quicker than it maybe would have liked. But you don't feel necessarily the same resistance that you felt with Egrin. It seems to flow just a little bit easier.
Oh, that's better.
So yeah, I rolled I think anytime I cast a scripture, I need to roll.
Yes, you do.
Just to make sure that I, 1, succeed, and 2, don't incur god debt. So far, I have not rolled a 1 on my D12. I rolled a 10 and a 4, and 2 and a 3 and a 1. But
Yeah. Fully healed.
it just heals 1. But
Oh, sorry, just heals 1. So you're back up to 2. The bar patrons are kind of like all looking at you. The bar is kind of turning back to normal and stuff, but a lot of the like groupies in the front row are kind of like taking off their t-shirts and are like, what the hell was that? And you see over in the corner, Crepes, the fairy bartender of this gin joint, has been kind of eyeing you guys. She kind of looks over and goes, "Hey, you lot. Why don't you just get on over here?"
Okay.
Do the rest of us recognize Crepes?
Yeah, you guys all immediately recognize Crepes. She was, the first bartender, gave you your first mission.
wow, she's even more jacked than I was imagining her. Wow. Look at her.
Yeah, we knew she was cut, but I guess she's really been lifting since we've.
Yeah.
I mean, remember last time when we were here, the whole tavern board and tavern brawl? I think she did most of the damage.
That's right. She punched a lot of
I
kids
forgot.
that day.
Yeah.
Really went to town on those kids.
Those kids were adults, but like...
Yes.
like
Again.
yeah.
Those
Again,
adult-
children who were ancient beings.
adult
Can't overstate
children.
it.
Exactly. Can't make that any more clear.
As you guys walk over, you see the bouncer from outside has come in and is getting like his one free drink for the night, and she pours him one of the big steins of spiked chocolate milk, and like with one hand hands it to him, and he takes it with 2 hands and like like drops it down a little bit. And she kind of goes over to you guys. So, you folks caught my eye, and my eye is a good thing to catch.
You're Crepes, right?
Ah, my reputation precedes me. Who might you be?
Oh, guys, we really gotta come up with like a gang name.
Oh yeah.
But also, I'm Kelly.
Kelly.
Yes. We actually met once before, I think, but I was different then.
Many people have met me at different times in their lives. Some people say I've lived many lives. Maybe they've lived many lives. Maybe we've all lived many lives.
That's deep.
I've lived at least this one life, maybe more lives, maybe less lives. But I know I'm here, and I know you have my eye, and my eye is a thing to have.
My name's Viper, and we need information.
Yeah, Crepes, we got questions.
I have answers and questions and statements and curiosities. And I also have my eye, which you have, which is a good thing to have.
Yes, you
Yeah.
Yes. You said, hi, I'm Egrin Delmont. I guess we're doing the formal introductions first before you tell us why we have your eye.
My eye, which you have, it's a good thing to have.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Yes.
know.
Speaking of eyes, I'm Cass the Seer. So I've got eyes as well. I can see some stuff.
2 eyes right there, 2 eyes right here, 2 eyes right there. And she points over to the corner directly at Fate.
Oh.
And then goes back to herself. 2 eyes right here. This eye is my eye, the eye you'd like to have.
Is the other eye not yours?
No, this is a borrow. This is a loner.
Oh. Okay.
Very cool.
Interesting.
And you see that eye kind of flickers with the same kind of like Neo energy that you found in Bingus's eye as it kind of like zooms in and zooms out.
Oh.
Whose eye did you borrow?
Is that your question?
Wait, no.
No. Let me confirm with my group.
Yeah, no, we
How
got
many?
like other questions. Like, so the piano player, Brett.
Fabulous piano player. Apparently terrible person.
Well, did you know that he was the vampire?
No, but he did catch my eye, which is a good thing to have. So maybe my eye is a bad thing.
Well, so why did he catch your eye?
Well, you know, he was bad, but he was also loud. And loud is important when you're running a tavern. Because these people don't usually care about good. They care about loud. And he could do that. But after a while, he did get good. And if you're good and loud, that's good twice. And I like things twice. Just like these two eyes. One of them, which is mine, which is good to have, which you now currently have.
Okay.
Crepes, you always had a way with words.
Delightful way with words. I'm Jayamal. We have your eye.
And then Jayamal takes his like 2 pointer fingers and grabs Crepe's nose, puts his thumb between his fingers and goes,
And now we have your nose.
She all of a sudden flies back. Like her pixie wings flutter. She kind of flies back and goes, "What dark magic is this?" I demand you give me back my nose. I will trade you one favor in return for my nose, which belongs on my face between my 2 eyes, one of which you have, which is a good thing to have.
Yes, okay. Here's your nose back. I'll take the favor.
Wonderful. And she takes it and puts it back on her nose and goes, I see I've been deceived. Very good. And she flies directly forward and is like an inch away from Jayamal's face. He goes, you now have both of my eyes. And one eye zooms in. And she flies back and goes, go on, deceiver. You have your favor. Ask away.
Guys, what's the favor?
Well, we know how to find Brett because your radar tracking. So,
I mean, I think I want to know I want to know what's going on with the forest. And also want to know if, if Danny's been here. And then with Brett, like what kind of being is he? Like if he fully, when he said he was almost done with Jay, like if he fully reached, like would Jay just not be a thing anymore? Jamal,
That's a good point.
ask her about one of those things.
yeah.
Is this a okay. If Brett fully got my goo, would I be dead?
Good question.
Thank you, Cass.
Good job.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
job.
you.
You nailed it.
Awesome
Thank you.
job.
I couldn't have done it without you guys.
You see her, she kind of like tilts her head, kind of thinks about it, goes, I suppose if he got your goo like real good, you could maybe die from that. But usually people don't die. Usually it's just a fun time. So I don't know.
Yeah, Chris.
If you got your goo real good.
I mean, you think keep going even afterwards.
She doesn't seem to have like a clear idea of like, she was clearly misunderstood. She didn't know that Brett was like a vampire or was something that he was not. She just saw that like, this guy can play loud music. Great, I need loud music.
Got it.
Oh wait, this guy got good and got me more business. Great, I won't pay any more attention because this is working out for me.
Got it.
Grapes, this is not a favor. This is just a question, friendly question as a patron. What happened to the forest?
Her expression kind of darkens and she kind of leans forward and goes, You who has my eye, which is a good thing to have. I have
Yep.
a quest for you.
We love quests.
We do love quests.
Guys, a quest.
Wait, that could be our name, the Quest Lovers.
we can workshop
That
it.
is
We can
a
work-
definite option, Cass. Yeah.
We'll sell it.
We can add it to the working list.
Yeah.
You see Silvera kind of like leans into Viper and goes, I don't understand that reference either, but it seems like it was a pun, so I'm going to assume it was funny.
You're so smart, babe.
Oh, babe. Okay. You see her friends are coming over to her like to say like, hey, you come understand? She goes, no, get out of here. She looks and goes, there has been a terrible blight upon this city recently. For some time now. A creature of great power and destruction has been coming down nightly, twice nightly, daily, and stealing bits and pieces of our forest. Slowly destroying the thing that we hold dear, the thing that keeps the fallen away. We don't know for why it does this, but it does this none the same.
Has anybody seen the creature?
Only whispers and shadows. You could ask anyone here. They've all seen different visages. All we know is it is large and it flies and it takes trees with it. Pulls them root, stem, and all. One fierce grip. Another gone.
And you say it comes every day or night?
Every night, sometimes the day, but always shrouded in shadows and whispers. You only seem to ever see it when it's already gone. Very sneaky.
So what's the quest? What's your quest for us?
Find it! Kill it!
Well, do you know like what direction it went in?
Direction. You see her kind of like look up and pause. And then as she pauses, you see her face looks up into the corner and she kind of pauses and her whole expression goes blank for a moment, almost like freeze frame of it. Like, you know how when you're watching like old movies, if you're watching a still frame and they pause it, it has like a different look to it a little bit. That happens and all of a sudden you hear around you, the room seems to freeze as well. The ambience goes to nothing. You look around, you see everyone is frozen in place, but again, kind of like in that way that like if you pause a VCR, like you just see things kind of move just a little bit, twitching back and forth. You hear a sound of almost like a rumble approaching beneath you, of something unstable happening. You hear the sound of some kind of like glitch as her face and everyone's faces in here goes and begins to spasm in weird ways. And as it stops, everyone has kind of like returned to normal for a moment. Their faces back where they were, still paused. You hear a skittering, a scritching of like quill on ink. And somewhere from a back room, now that this place is quiet, you can hear it like echoing out around this large chamber. You hear the scratching of quill on paper, and you hear Danny's voice going, shit, where's this at? Okay. What's scary?
Danny?
Danny?
Danny!
Big
Show
doofus.
yourself!
What? You hear him kind of go, oh shit. And he claps his hands together from somewhere in the distance, and the world comes back together. However, it still has that rumbling beneath it, which slows, but no one else here seems to notice it at all. As it rumbles, it slowly dissipates, and you feel the air around you with this electric charge of something wildly unstable, slowly coming to equilibrium for a moment. You see her kind of look down as she looks up in the corner and goes, yes, we believe it was heading towards Dark Shadow Pass.
Dark Shadow Pass. Well, yeah, a dark shadow from Dark Shadow Pass. I guess that tracks.
Yeah.
And you know,
Dark Shadow Pass.
you guys know from your adventures, Dark Shadow Pass is a valley kind of pathway in the shade of this massive mountain range nearby, probably a day or two's journey from here, that was for a time a favorite spot for like bandits and things, because it was such a narrow passageway with high walls all around. So it was just a great ambush point. but it was initially the fastest way between here, or like this region, and the neighboring kingdom. Because it became so popular for bandits and thieves, it was kind of used less and almost completely abandoned because no one could get through without like large armed contingents. And it was like, let's just go around. We'll add 3 days to our trip and we won't have to spend for like 40 guards to go through this pass. Yes, down by Dark Shadow Pass. That seems to be the direction that it seems to be going every night. We don't know where exactly a beast of that size would be able to make a home, but somewhere in those mountains, maybe?
And what do we get for this quest?
Favor from the town, I suppose.
Come on, man, we gotta save these kids, these old ass kids.
Hey.
She also reaches down and goes, also, if you want gold, and pulls up a full bag of gold. Just goes,
yes,
I've got that in spades, so I could definitely do gold. I mean, a favor is way more valuable, but if you just want gold, and she literally like throws it over her shoulder.
We could discuss. We could go like, however much gold you have in there, you can cut in half. You can have like half gold, a favor kind of deal.
No, all gold and the favor.
Yeah.
She literally throws the bag of gold into a larger pile of gold behind her. This is like by far the best tavern in town, and it seems to be packed every night. She's rolling in it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we could take some gold like for expenses along the way and stuff. And then like when we circle back, maybe we get that favor.
Yeah, we'll take gold up front and then favor when we get back.
Yeah.
You see her Neo eye kind of zooms in on you and goes, you too have both my eyes. This eye, not something you want to have.
Uh-oh.
But she looks at you guys and kind of like leans in very sincerely. And she's been kind of a bit boisterous and friendly, and she kind of leans in. I've lived here all my life. I've never seen something like this. I've never felt fear in this place until recently. That forest is a barrier of protection for us. We exist here in our frolic and our fun because that forest protects us from the fallen and from things outside. This lake, this place, is a special place. I didn't think bad times would come to it, and I hope they still don't. But we're very close to finding out if those times can make it to this lake. I ask you sincerely. This town will be in your debt, and I promise you, that debt is one you would like to have on your ledger. Also the gold thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to make sure that's still on the table.
Yeah, it's absolutely still on the table. She leans in, but yeah, plops 2 bags of gold on the table, and her jovial atmosphere kind of returns as she notices some patrons have been looking at her in this kind of more serious state. But, whatever you can do to help us out, I think we'd really appreciate it,
Yeah, we can get that sorted.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what we can do.
That's what I like to hear from the group of adventurers that have my eye, and my eye is a good thing to have.
Just to make sure that we're on the same terms and everything, you mentioned 3 gold bags of gold and a favor.
I'll say, go ahead and roll a charisma check. Unless
Are you using the voice on her?
I will say,
Like,
unless you want
what's
to use the voice on her.
No, I'm not going to use my voice.
the only, friendly face.
Yeah, only friendly person here. I'm trying to swindle them, but fairly.
She's got
264.
264.
That's special, Brian.
That is a special. There's no mechanic in this game for opposed rolls, but I'm going to roll 3 dice for her and just see what happens.
Okay.
That's cocked. Okay. She rolled 2 successes, but not a special. She looks at you and goes, you can have 3 bags of gold. They'll be slightly smaller bags.
Well played.
Her Neo eye kind of gives this devilish twitch, and the eye itself winks, but her eyelids don't wink. It's in a very disturbing but cute way.
Yeah.
Oh. And she kind of flies back. As she says that, you hear a bit of a commotion from outside.
Oh.
You hear people kind of stirring about, some people kind of running inside. All of a sudden, this place gets really packed, and you feel yourself getting squashed in by a bunch of children. Again, 400, 500-year-old children, but they look like children, but they're old people.
What happened to having to wait till 4 people left to let someone in?
Yeah, where's that bouncer? Got words for him.
You guys see the bouncer out there is holding the door open and actually going, get in here, come on, get in.
Wow.
As you get in, you see all of a sudden the entire outside is covered in shadow as you hear the flapping of thick wings.
Well, that's probably the thing.
Looks like Dark Shadow Pass came to us.
Nice.
You guys hear the sound of claws retching onto some tree in the distance. You hear these 2 trees get fully uprooted. You've never heard the sound of a massive 100-plus-year-old oak tree getting pulled from the ground. As you hear it, you feel the soil itself almost cry out as it's lifted into the air, and you hear the beating of wings flying northward towards the pass. You guys getting crammed in here by all these children.
I was gonna say, can we get over to a window or no?
You try to make your way to a window. I need everyone here to roll me a strength, or if you want, dexterity checks. Try to move through this tightly packed, panicking crowd. I'm gonna say difficulty here is 1, so you got to get 2 or more successes.
Oh, that's not going to be great.
I got a 4-4-5.
I rolled 2 1s.
I also rolled 2 1s.
Oh no!
And
I
you
got-
guys.
355.
4-3-2.
4-3-2. Kelly and Egrin, as you guys move through, you get to the window. As you do, Cass and Viper jump on top, or trying to crowd surf to get through here and squash you down. So all of you fall to the ground in this heap as these kids are jumping on top of you.
We could almost see it.
However, as you guys fall to the ground, you create essentially a platform on which Jayamal can kind of clamber up on. Literally climbs over your bodies and looks up into the sky. Jayamal, as you see the beating of wings as they cast a shadow in front of the moon, you see a familiar figure, though much, much larger than the one on your shoulder.
Bingus?
A big Bingus?
That's
Bingus?
Bingus's mom?
Big Bingus.
A dragon squirrel
The dragon squirrel.
rarely reaches this size,
Oh my god.
but a dragon squirrel needs many, many acorns to survive.
We're not going to kill a squirrel for getting food. Are we really going to do that?
You see it flying off to the north. Bingus, Jayamal's old flying squirrel familiar, all grown up.
Wait, so that's Bingus?
That's Bingus Bingus.
That's
That's
Bingus.
the
Bingus.
original Bingus?
Bingus.
That's Bingus.
Danny
Bingus.
is such
Yeah.
a dick.
Danny, no.
Making us fight Bingus?
Danny, no.
That's fucked.
That's honestly fucked.
That's dark. That's the darkest thing that's happened so far.
Yeah.
The bar is beginning to disperse a little bit. Crepes is kind of ordering people around, trying to get them out. What do you guys do? Is there anything you guys want to do this evening? Do you want to go to sleep, kind of venture off in the morning? What's your plan for the evening?
Yeah, I feel like we should probably get some rest so that we're all good and ready and totally prepared for the morning, and then head out to, how far away is Dark Shadow Path?
It's 2.5 days travel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it seems like we rest up at the night, gear up, leave at the crack of dawn.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Jayamal's already asleep in a booth.
I think Kelly's gonna go over to Crepes and say, hi. So if we wanted rooms, can we do that here? Is there someplace else? We want to stay somewhere?
We have plenty of rooms for what? How many rooms would you like? 1, 2, 12?
Well,
You see her cross her fingers when she says 12.
12 seems like way too many.
Yeah, I don't think we need 2 rooms each.
Don't knock it till you try it.
But, like, how many beds are in each room?
How many beds do you want? 1, 2, 12?
I'll take 1 bed with one room and 1 bed, and then I wink at the elf and go, and another drink for Silvera, my friend here.
She just kind of like giggles a little bit and goes, and she kind of looks at her friends. They kind of give her the glance of like, you coming? She goes, no. And she waves them off.
Nice. Score 1 for Viper.
I feel like Kelly's also like, yeah, nice. Excited for her friend.
I think you also know, like, in the real life, like, it's been a while since Anna really had, like, a spicy romance, so she needs this.
Yeah, Kelly's very pumped for real life Anna.
Yeah, Kelly, you watch as Silvera like whispers something in Viper's ear, and Viper, you just hear descriptions of things that you have not been physically able to do in some time, but are realizing you're very able to do in this current body.
I look down and like flex my biceps under my like leather jacket a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, let's go.
You guys quickly make your way off. You see Crepes like just slightly turn up the music just a little bit in the house. You guys get a bunch of rooms for the night.
Maybe we should get just like the rooms next to on either side of the room that Viper's going in, just to, you know, a little privacy.
Oh, for sure.
You guys leave those open.
You guys
I see what you're saying. That's smart.
Yeah.
You guys get a block of rooms with like buffer room. There's like Viper's room in the middle, buffer rooms on all
Maybe we
sides.
do need 12 rooms.
The 12 room that, you know what, now that I'm thinking about it more. Yeah.
That actually
It's
makes
grown
more
on
sense.
me, the idea.
She takes up 2 rooms and opens all the communicating doors between the rooms. So like Viper's got this one room, this buffet of rooms, and then you guys have like a row of 8 rooms in a row, all connected with open doors. So you just have like this massive suite, essentially.
Sweet.
Hey, you guys arrange the mattresses and pillows and forts, and get ready for bed. Is there anything else you guys want to do this evening before the sun rises?
Midnight Muscadines is a cozy, dark tabletop role-playing game where light and shadow intertwine in a fractured world. Players take on the roles of marmoteers, brave adventurers who journey into the untamed wilderness to collect the elusive Midnight Muscadines, craft magical jams, and protect the fragile light of Nim. Through collaborative storytelling and resourceful gameplay, players weave tales of courage, community, and the pursuit of balance. Will you preserve the light, uncover the truths hidden in the shadows, or reshape the balance of the world forever? Midnight Muscadines is perfect for fans of Studio Ghibli and Sea of Stars who seek to capture the magic of exploration and the heartfelt adventure in a world where small heroes make a big impact. Play Midnight Muscadines as a traditional GM'd game, GMless, or even solo. Midnight Muscadines is crowdfunding now on BackerKit. Join the campaign at pandeongames.com/muscadines.
I'm Quinns of tabletop role-playing game review show Quinn's Quest, and this is Play to Find Out. Play to Find Out is an actual play podcast that brings notorious old games from the 80s and 90s back to the table. Each season of Play to Find Out, I'm joined by Emily Johnson and Rob Morgan.
Good? Nervous?
Yeah.
You both looked at each other really concerned, like you think what's about to happen is going to be unpleasant. And frankly, I think that's rude.
And together, we explore the TTRPGs of ages gone by. Our goal, to separate the TTRPGs that deserve to be remembered from those that maybe don't. I don't know, Emily. It was the 80s.
Also,
A lot of people were on cocaine. We blow the dust from decrepit systems to learn how they work. Your 100 on the encounter table bursts out. Right, you've encountered a fog. Get ready. Don't laugh.
There's one get ready for a fog.
Don't laugh. Encounter their unique quirks.
I do finger guns to cover up how I wince.
A weird thing happens as you do finger guns.
Oh no.
And I'm hoping that the Quinn's Quest community will join us in exploring these games too. If you this up, cannot describe to you how much your adventure ends here.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because the best way to learn is to play to find out. Play to Find Out is available now on the Quinn's Quest Patreon, but the first episode of each series streams for free on the Quinn's Quest YouTube channel and wherever you get your podcasts. Anyway, you failed the Earth Tech roll, and you made jokes while I was doing my exposition, so you don't get to hear any more.
Oh, no. Come on.
I was shook as...
Yeah, I'm all squared up with my debts to fate, so let's make a new one. Let's tempt fate a little bit. So I'm gonna hang out at the bar and just sort of wait for, just vibe it out, since fate seems very much based on vibes in this world. And just sort of wait for fate to show his chill little face.
Is anyone else staying in the bar? Or is anyone else going up to bed?
Jayamal's asleep in the booth still.
Oh, yeah. You see Crepes comes over and brings like a blanket and sets like a hot toddy next to you that has like a coaster underneath that is a magical coaster that's constantly heating this hot toddy. Aww. So whenever you wake up, you just got something ready.
That's so sweet.
Oh my God.
I think Kelly's down in the bar as well, still trying to like get a vibe of who these magical middle schoolers are. And are the dwarves still there?
Yeah, dwarves still there.
Very cool.
Dwarves are drinking deep into the night.
Well, obviously.
You see these guys are posted up.
Cool. Okay. So I feel like Kelly's hanging out at the bar as well with Ned or Cass.
And Ingrid, what are you up to?
I'm probably in my room, kind of like sat on the bed. And I think I'm trying to get a gauge of what I can do. Because I think probably during the fight with the Fallen, I felt a weird stirring in my chest and throat, but didn't act on it. So I think I'm just like trying to silently and just figure out what else I'm able to do. Meditate on that.
You meditate on like the feelings that they're inside, and there's an instinctive nature to it. Like, there's something there, but you haven't tried it, and it feels... You had hit things with this death touch that felt instinctive, and you saw like a Fallen's head fully explode. You saw Viper and Jayamal's faces be like expelled from this vampire. You felt power coming from your hands, and that power feels dauntingly small compared to this itch in the back of your throat. And you kind of almost like vocal exercises, just test it out a little bit and feel that whisper of something terrifying escaping your lips. Quiet, and in the quiet of your room, you just kind of let this happen. And as you kind of let it out, you see a flicker in the window of some of your features momentarily change. And then as your eyes flick over to the window to catch that reflection, you see everything has reverted back to normal.
Okay. That might be useful or terrifying. And I will just kind of climb into bed and just try not to think about it.
Great before bed thoughts. Terrifying. Well, time for snooze.
Gonna get some real good sleep on that thought, yeah.
You reflect on the idea of something being either useful or terrifying. And I think the last thought that goes into your head before you fall asleep is how terrifying it would be if it were both. And we pass down back into the bar. Ned, you're sitting around just kind of waiting for fate to reveal themselves. And after a while, you've got like a couple people like passed you drinks. You guys, there are some like non-children in this town, but they are treated like they're treated as being a bit strange, but people like often buy them drinks and stuff. So you've gotten a few drinks from these children, which is a weird experience, but you know, we go with it.
The children are not children.
They're not children. They just look like children.
They're adults.
Ancient
hundreds,
beings.
maybe even thousands of years old. You know,
It's like the elves from the Santa Claus movies.
Great analogy.
Yeah.
That's not terrifying at all.
After a while, you sit around, a few drinks in, and you see in front of you on like the pull tap for this like chocolate, this, you know, grain alcohol chocolate milk, sitting there as like a miniature version of themselves is Fate, hanging upside down, like legs crisscrossed over the thing, upside down, kind of looking at you. And as you
can
like,
make yourself little. That's fun.
He's the elf on the shelving you, bro.
Yeah, cool. That's a fun look. I like a little Fate.
You see him hanging upside down.
Fate can be any size, man. Some things
that's
are
a
big,
good point.
Some things are small.
Okay.
Some things deceptively so, man.
Well, yeah, for sure.
You did a pretty good job of trying to surprise me.
Yeah.
You didn't, you know, actually surprise me, but
I tried to, though.
Made good on your word.
Yeah.
I respect that.
So listen, I'm enjoying these powers that you've bestowed onto me, but I get the feeling that there's more power available if we make more deals. Am I correct?
You see
in thinking that
the little blue of their eye twinkles and flashes.
There's always more power in fate, man. Never ending, ever expanding. Everywhere and nowhere. What is it you want, my man?
Here's what I would like. And out of character, Brian, I know that like the mechanics around the way miracles work in this game seem very open-ended. So
yeah.
Like if what I'm asking for is, well, I mean, I guess just, you know, exact whatever cost you think is reasonable for what I'm about to ask for.
This is the best start to a request I've ever had as a game master. I want to do a really cool thing. Please exact a high toll.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What are you thinking?
I've noticed that my friends and companions in this adventuring party, they're a little bit lighter on their feet than me. They're able to act more quickly when situations arise, and I feel like, you know, that makes sense from like a physical understanding of the way things work. But I don't know. I feel like you know when things are going to happen before they happen. I feel like maybe I should know when things are going to happen before they happen. So what I would like, and, you know, tell me what I need to do in order to earn this favor. I would like to act first in combat situations.
You see Fate looks at this and kind of regards you, and you see like a little eyebrow raise. If not surprised, this is an emotion fairly close to it.
Oh, there we go. I didn't even need to do the thing at the at the bar, the bouncer.
Fate swings themselves up and sits on top, like upright, crisscross applesauce on top of this tap. They look at you and
They go, you know, lots of people want to alter their fates in some way, but usually people just want to know all the answers, not to dive head first. I respect someone who wants to enter the unknown before others. I'm happy to let you do that.
Okay.
All you have to do is...
Oh, okay. It's just the way I should be used to it by now, but so I thought maybe I was just gonna get it. The long pause. I should just let you finish your pauses. I'm sorry. I apologize. Go ahead.
You see their hands extend and two like balls of mist appear in either hand. They hold them up, almost like balancing their hands like a scale.
Tell me, which would you prefer as trade? Do you want a weight on your scale?
And you see their hands kind of shift down, signaling with like the right hand, something in the right hand.
Or do you want my hands on the scale?
And they shift the other way with their left hand down.
Oh, that's very vague. That's incredibly vague, Mr. Fate, and you know what? I gotta respect it.
Fate looks at you and they kind of laugh and they go,
yeah, it's fair.
you see the mist kind of dissolves a little bit, and in their right hand they hold a small stone.
Mm-hmm.
And in their left hand they hold a piece of paper.
Okay.
Ask him if he's got scissors, dude.
Yeah, rock or paper, huh? You know, they both weigh the same in a vacuum. They'd fall at the same speed. I gotta go with rock. I don't know. That paper, at least I know what the rock is, kind of, right? It's like a burden, something negative, a weight on the scale, whereas that paper, you could write whatever you want on that paper. And you're a tricksy fella.
You see, they hold up, they put both down on like the taps on either side. They conjure up a swinging scale, like a chain that goes down to a bauble with two things on either side. They put the rock on one side of your scale, and you see it camped to one side. And as it does, you kind of reach your hand out, kind of looking towards it, just kind of regarding this magical object, and you knock over your stein of beer.
Oh.
And you feel that evenness of luck that you had felt in here momentarily go away. You feel that this is a rock on the scale of your luck.
Yeah. Well, that's not unfamiliar to old Nettie, so...
Fate looks at you again, turns over the paper and opens it up, and you just see two words that say, "Turn left." And he says,
"Are you sure? You want this burden on your scale forever, man? Or just want one little direction? For good or for ill?"
Turn left. At some point, I feel like I've made donations to that organization at some point. Oh God, I just I feel the liquid that I've knocked over is on my armored pants,
Oh yeah, it's running down your pants. It's gone into your shoe. You feel it's gonna like, you know that feeling when your shoes are wet and they slosh. You know that's happening, but with like milk, like who knows what that feels like?
It's just that like that constant nervousness that I feel in the real world that hasn't been present in this world suddenly back, and I back off from it, and I think, no, I'll do the paper.
You see,
you've convinced me.
Fate reaches out their hand to shake yours.
I'm gonna have to turn left at some point, huh? Okay.
You're just gonna live life as Zoolander.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. He's not an ambi turner.
Fate takes
This
your
is
hand.
wait, just hold on. As our hands are about to touch, I say, "This is one time you're gonna ask me to turn left."
One time.
One time, turn left. Permanently, I get to act first.
Long as you turn left.
Seems like a good deal. What could go wrong?
Fate grabs your hand. You feel that inevitable embrace grab you and pull you close as Fate turns from this tiny miniaturized version of themselves to a full-size version now sitting on the bar, pulls you close, grabs the paper, slams it onto your forearm, and you feel a burning sensation down your forearm as the paper crisps and burns away, leaving a tattoo of turn left on your forearm.
That's really badass.
Wow. All right.
And dangling from the T at the end of turn left is a small scale that every time you move just kind of seems to bobble a little bit as if the ink is moving.
Wow.
See, Fate holds your hand and goes,
I am still holding out hope that you'll surprise me.
and they fall backwards behind the bar and disappear.
Could have gone worse, I suppose. Yeah. Time for bed.
You make your way upstairs, past Viper's room, and hear sounds you have. Who knows what's happening in there? And you make your way to bed.
I think at some point, also, Kelly carries Jaimal up to one of the rooms rather than just leave him to sleep in a booth.
It's very easy. He's very small and very light.
He's very frail, so it's fine.
Very frail.
Kelly, was there anything else you wanted to do before you guys head to bed?
No, I think that Kelly spent like a bunch of her time downstairs, like making sure that Jaimal was indeed sleeping and not, I don't know, dead. And then just like chatting up crepes. You know, she does the kind of thing of like, if you get to know the owner of the establishment, then you're like in good favor with them. And so you can like ask for fun, special stuff or whatever. So she's
Order
basically
off menu.
just like, yes. Order something other than grain, alcohol, chocolate, milk.
Go ahead and roll me a charisma check.
Oh, man. Okay.
I'll say you can take advantage because you're like taking a bunch of time to do this.
So I roll 2.
Whatever your charisma stat is,
Yeah.
you'll roll that +1 since you're
plus 1 die.
yeah, since you're rolling with advantage.
So that's a 6, a 3, and a 3.
Okay, 1 success, but it's a special. You talk to Trapes throughout the night, checking in on Jaimal as you go. Crepes kind of gives you the download of this town, which a lot of it you knew. This town has been under this protective ward for a very long time. It allows this kind of eternal youth to exist in this town. It's a very fragile ecosystem in this town because, like, yes, everyone is eternally young, but that is kind of valued. One of their biggest protections against the outside world, and specifically the dangers of the Vermilion Expanse, was the edge of the forest, which acted as kind of a like natural, if magical, barrier. And their biggest worry is that with this forest slowly being destroyed and this like natural magic being sapped from this area, that the Fallen may be able to get through, other nations or things may be able to get through and claim, like, this is valuable land, this is valuable territory, because there are some of these like innate magical properties. They exist peacefully and are like well liked, but are not particularly well protected. So while they haven't had any, like, no one's been killed by this dragon squirrel, like no one's been, attacked or eaten or anything, but it is a slow eroding of the things that are keeping them safe. So they're afraid that like the foundation of their town is going to be destroyed rather than like individual things are being destroyed. You also try to order off menu. She gives you regular milk with grain alcohol, and that's as far as she's willing to go.
Cool. So there isn't like a Shirley Temple, a dirty Shirley.
Oh, you want a dirty Shirley? Oh, yeah. And she takes strawberry syrup and pours it in the milk.
Oh, God.
Mixes it up.
So it's like, yes, definitely.
Strawberry milk.
Thank you so much. And takes like a couple of sips to be polite and then just sort of like puts it down.
As you sip it, you realize that it is, it was chocolate milk that she has used like a bunch of vanilla to dye like regular milk. So now it just tastes like, one shot of vanilla is the same as one shot of vodka. So now it's just like an insane amount of alcohol.
Kelly's like,
and strawberry.
Excellent. This is exactly what I was hoping for.
One sip and you are drunk as a skunk. You make your way off to bed. And the morning arrives. You guys awaken in your various rooms. Jaimal, as you wake up, you found that Kelly has like fully full tuck you in.
I can't get out. It's too tight.
I swaddled him.
Yeah, you've been fully swaddled. You can smell the hot toddy that's still hot on this like magical coaster, and you keep trying to scoot towards it but can't quite make it. You wake up as the sun is like just beginning to rise, and you see little Bingus is kind of like playing on your chest, just kind of rolling around, and he's got the Fairgold coin, the other Fairgold coin that you've gotten from the Fallen, and is batting it between their paws. You see on your heads-up display on your spectacles, which Kelly tried to take off, but it turns out they are actually like physically part of your body now.
That's gross.
Yeah, that's horrible.
They fully grew out.
Ew.
Oh no.
Maybe I should make this decision for your character. Do you want to take your spectacles off?
No, I don't. I absolutely do not want to do
I'm
that.
kidding.
I love your glasses. Thank you. I grew them myself.
Thank you. They're made of my flesh.
You see a flashing timer on your heads-up display. And you see like there's a little icon of like the sunrise, and you see a countdown, and you hear it in your hearing aids, which also grew out of your body.
Nice. Nice. Are they attached to my J-bands?
What is a J-band?
Those are my glasses brands, baby.
Yeah, it's all one thing. It's a whole system.
Beats by Jay.
Beats by J.
Yes.
Coming to a retirement home near you. You see a countdown, and the AI system speaks into your ear through those hearing aids.
5 minutes until fair goal expiration.
Bloom, bloom. Bloom, bloom.
Bingus, put the gold in my mouth.
And Bingus kind of like holds up the coin and goes, and like is trying to play with you.
Bingus, this is, please.
And it's batting it on their tummy.
No.
Batting it around.
Help, Kelly. Someone.
I think Kelly definitely, took the room next to Jaimal to, again, like make sure that she knew she swallowed him a little bit too tight, maybe. So she hears it and she'll come running in.
Help me.
You come running in, and you see Bingus is belly up, batting this coin around their belly.
Kelly, someone imprison me in this bed.
What a good Bingus. No, it's totally fine. You're not. It's like, didn't you sleep really, really good though?
Yes, like a baby, old baby, but please, can you put that coin in my mouth?
Yeah, totally, sure. Bingus.
No, Bingus. Bad Bingus.
Bad Bingus.
Bingus goes knives out and grabs onto your hand and is just stabbing you with its claws.
Oh my god, okay. I'll just unswaddle you instead.
Viper.
You just have to untuck this part over here. It's not that hard.
God damn.
You find yourself free from this blanket prison, and you see the countdown is now at 2 minutes.
No!
Jesus, Bingus!
Bingus, I will turn you off.
Bingus has the coin in its mouth and is playing, running all around you. You say you're going to turn it off. It looks up at you. Its ears go flat, and it goes...
No, I would never turn you off. You're too... No, I love you.
Oh, man. People can't see the face Brian made. It's very cute.
It runs up and like sits on your shoulder and like very sheepishly hands you the coin. But hands like tries to like mouth to mouth the coin to you.
Oh, I definitely mouth to mouth it. Yeah, absolutely.
You guys Lady the Tramp, he gives you a little kiss. You swallowed this Farragold coin and you see on your heads up display, there's a little like outline of Bingus that had a like meter that was all the way down at his feet. You swallow the coin, it goes and the meter goes back up. The counter goes back to 24 hours. And you feel the Farragold coin disappear in your body.
Yum.
Yeah, you unwrap it, you reveal the chocolate inside.
Yep.
You guys wake up, slowly kind of make your way downstairs. Viper, do you wake up Silvera? Or are you just dipping?
Let's see. Well, Silvera's an elf, so they only need like half the amount of sleep.
That's true. She's
right.
Okay, so I guess then really the question is, did you get enough sleep? Because she only needed 4 hours of sleep.
I think let's see, what's the most chaotic option? I think I have not gotten enough sleep, but I'm like wired with that like super awake feeling and like obviously full of endorphins and stuff. So I think I actually left the room through the window after a night of passionate elvish lovemaking, scaled down the side of the building, and I'm like waiting for everyone outside the front door of the tavern, like eating an apple that I found on a tree. And I'm like, or I actually, Ingrid, you see outside the window of your room, you hear a knocking to wake you up, and you see me like Spider-Man upside down, and I'm like hanging and doing like pull-ups outside of the window.
On the second or third store, I'm like, go to open the window. Do you need to come in? Why are you outside?
No, you need to get out. Come on, we got adventuring to do. Let's go.
I like look down out the window. I'm gonna take the stairs. Give me a second.
Fair enough. Then I like lift myself up and maybe climb to the next window. And I'm just like, that's how I'm waking everyone up.
You guys all in turn get taps on the window. And also like the tree doesn't extend to all the windows. For some of them, you have to like fully scale the side of the building and are like full on Jason Bourning it.
Yeah.
Tapping on windows. You see all of your friends in various states of their morning routine. Some people are like, in the middle of brushing their teeth. Some people look good. Some people do not look good yet.
I see the Bingus coin interaction happening and I'm about to knock. And then I'm like, they got it covered.
It's very cute. Bingus sees you and kind of gives you a little like squirrel fisticuffs thing. Like, see?
I finger guns with one hand, which makes me lose my balance. But then luckily, I just like grab onto the perfect handhold and finger gun.
You accidentally slip out. A full brick comes out. You start falling backwards, but that brick leaving has given you a perfect handhold. You just grab onto it. You guys all make your way downstairs where you see Crepes is waiting up for you guys. or has woken up, and she's running a tavern is kind of a 24-hour job. She is in the middle of prepping more milk for the next batch of this milk thing. I don't know, whatever that means. I'm getting a lot of thumbs down for the players. Lots of thumbs down. She's prepping up meals and cooking things and preparing bread for the day and stuff.
I think part of Kelly talking with Crepes last night was basically negotiating the promise of a big old hearty breakfast for everybody, early in, and some packed lunches.
She has brown bag lunches. It seems like actually the preferred method of lunches in this whole town is brown paper bags.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah.
For all the children. You see a bunch of people going off to work in the various nearby mines and farms, and they all have brown paper bags. You guys enjoy a hearty breakfast that Crepes has made, including what else? Crepe Suzette. And regular chocolate milk, which she is very reticent to give you, but she seems to have taken a liking to Kelly, so serves it to you guys. And as you guys are kind of ready to get going, she comes up to you and hands you a small, very tattered map. Goes,
now, straight south,
what did I say last time? Straight north?
Straight north of here is this pass. This is where we believe this monster is hiding. The roads to get there, fairly clear. Unfortunately, the pass itself, it used to be a very good trade passage. Unfortunately, high sides on either side make it a very good spot for ambushes and banditry, and for a long time we haven't used it. I don't know if bandits are still there or if there are, any kind of negative, bad people there. There were for some time, but I'm guessing since the trade's dried up, maybe they've gone away. I can't say for sure, but just once you get to the pass, once the walls start getting high, keep your guard up.
She hands you guys all your sack lunches. As you guys stand up and start exiting, she slaps you each on the ass and goes, "Go get them!"
Thanks, Crepes.
Oh, thanks.
Firm slap, yeah.
Very firm slap for a very small fairy.
Yeah.
She seems to have used some kind of magic to fully mage hand her hand to be regular size.
That explains
the best use of that spell of all time.
And you guys head off down the road. As you guys travel, the first maybe half day, you can kind of see ahead of you. It's a very clear path. It becomes plain lands over here, and off in the distance you see mountains beginning to rise up where Dark Shadow Pass would be, this valley passageway through the mountains. Are you guys taking any special precautions or things as you travel?
I'm not.
I'm not either.
The fool is not.
What? That's so out of
Fool
character.
says, nah.
Enoch or Ingrid is so used to just going somewhere. I don't think it's ever walked for more than 10, 15 minutes. It's usually public transport, a car or a taxi or a cab. So to him, it's he's already out of his element, so doesn't know what to look out for anyway. He's very much a city kind of person, so he's just walking.
You guys walk along. This is a very open road. It's a very well maintained road. There are fruit trees on either side. You guys can kind of grab something and go as you're passing.
I think Kelly is probably hanging out with Ingrid, who very clearly got bored 10 minutes into this walk and was like, "You mean we have to just keep walking?"
Yeah, when we play the game,
or something.
She's almost doing the tour guide thing, even though she knows nothing about this land. Being like, "Oh my god, look at that tree! That's so interesting. What kind of tree do you think that is?"
I don't know, but it kind of looked like the tree pointed at last time.
It did. They're probably the same kind of tree.
Yeah.
I think most of these trees are probably that kind of tree.
Yeah. Does anyone know how to teleport? This is a lot. Is there an Uber service here? There should be some sort of Uber service, something similar.
I don't know
anyway.
if the ancient middle schoolers came up with Uber yet. I don't know that they really. They seem to be pretty local. Don't really have to go too far. So,
Jaima, you have a vague memory of while you were like drifting in and out of sleep in that booth, some toddler was coming up to you and be like, "Listen, I've got a beta program in the works right now. It's going to be revolutionary."
Okay, I'm picturing all the cars being like those Fisher Price, like plastic ones.
Just fully like Fred Flintstoning to go.
Yep.
As you guys make your way along throughout that first day, it is very open. You can see a good mile in any direction. It's clear skies, clear day. And you look around and see the wonders of this world that had been so often described to you guys by Danny, rendered in vivid detail. You look around and like you've walked on roads for some time, you've driven on roads, you've seen grass, you've seen trees, you've seen sky, but everything just tinted that little bit different, that any small difference in something so fundamental seems monumental. You see the grass, just that littlest bit shade of orange. You see the stones with flecks of like blue and purple stones that don't seem to happen very much in the real world. You see the trees just a little bit longer and a little bit spindlier, the trunks narrower than you're used to, the branches thicker, the leaves floating down in weird patterns. You see apples that are like white and like black and like blue, all as you like open into them, fresh and juicy and vibrant, but just that little bit different than what you're expecting. And the first 3/4 of a day pass uneventfully. You guys chat and talk and think about what you're going to be doing when you make it to Dark Shadow Pass. And as the day is coming to a close, you see the sun is beginning to set. You're starting to think about making camp. Off in the distance, you hear it before you see it. You guys look behind you and you hear the sound of hooves, but not at a canter, not running towards you, but just kind of trotting. And you hear the slow groan of wagon wheels. And off the distance, you see a very grand looking wagon made of wood, but like gilded and silver, 2 horses pulling it, and 2 little gnomish riders on top of either of the horses, walking slowly towards you guys. But they're on horses. They're kind of like slowly catching up to you guys. And there seems to be on the front of this wagon a very large, complicated, like sigil or like emblem of like a house, of some like noble house or something. What do you guys do as this thing approaches you?
Do they see us?
Yeah, they see. I mean, you guys would spot it before they'd spot you, I think.
I'd like to hide.
Yeah. You hide off in a tree. Anyone else hiding, or are you guys okay with being seen?
I don't see any reason. I mean, Ingrid doesn't see any reason why they should hide. They kind of step to the side, kind of like, if you see a bike coming, you kind of move aside so they let them pass. You just kind of do the same thing with this carriage, just steps to the side so he's not obstructing the way.
Yeah, I think Kelly's with Ingrid.
Jaimal's in the middle of the road.
Cass doesn't hide. Oh,
Jaimal, you actually can't hear it because you're hearing it. You've turned down low. Because Kelly keeps talking about the same tree type, and you've slowly turned it down throughout the day.
Someone get Jaimal out of the road. Someone get Jaimal. I'll grab Jaimal. Sort of pull him to the side.
Where are we going?
Bingus, can you like herd him out of the road?
No, don't touch me.
You guys try to move Jaimal. The horses end up moving slightly to the left to like pass you guys. As they pass, the horses kind of slow down as these gnomes kind of rear back on the reins a little bit. There's a man and a woman. The woman kind of leans down to you guys and goes, "Ah, travelers! Whereabouts you heading? We don't see many people on this road. We didn't expect to see anybody."
Gnomes. A hardy, hard-working people. Not lazy.
What?
So sorry. He is of a different generation.
Yeah, he's a product of his time.
No, we're just like out for exploring the neighborhood, exploring the area. Where are
You guys have any recommendations?
Oh, there's not too much good out this way. We're heading to Dark Shadow Pass ourselves, but it's pretty dangerous over there. I don't know if you guys are from around here, but I'd recommend you turn back.
Oh, what you doing up at Dark Shadow Pass?
We're gonna kill a dragon.
Wow, what
What does the dragon look like?
I should we're not gonna kill our dragon. Our son is gonna kill a dragon.
Your son?
Yes.
Your son.
Is he in?
Don't you see? They point to the sigil and they're like, "Yes, you know who we are, right?" Sorry, I thought you were being cute and nice. Do you actually not know who we are?
We suffered group amnesia. We were on a
we also just
recently.
collectively have really bad eyesight.
Yeah. So could you jog our memory? I think if you remind us of something familiar, it could actually help us recover the memories we lost.
You see, this gnomish woman looks to her husband, and she goes, "Pa, would you like to do the honors?" I haven't gotten to do this in some time. Excuse me. He jumps down off of his horse, which is a pretty big fall for a gnome, lands gracefully, goes over and knocks on the door of the carriage, pulls out from somewhere behind him a trumpet, does the quick bugle horn. I am pleased to introduce Sir Michael of the House of Doctore, first of his name, champion of the Halcyon Halls, exceeder of parental expectations, slinger of sword and shield, autodidact and multi-hyphenate. The gnomes know him as Eloise de Macron. The giants know him as Gorf the Gruff, and he is known in the mysterious lands far to the east as Michael le Magnifique. And there may be other names you do not know yet.
I love a cute gnome show.
Impressive. This is an impressive person. Wow.
They knock on the door. The door swings open, and coming out in resplendent armor, silver and gilded, large sword on their hip, shield emblazoned on one of their arms, full metal helm with the visor pulled up. You guys see this taller than average and for sure stockier than average gnomish man come down. And Enoch, as they turn to regard you, you see the face of your brother staring back at you.
Oh. I think that's literally what Ingrid says. They just go, oh. Great.
This season of My First Dungeon is produced by Brian Flaherty and Elliot Davis. Editing and sound design by Brian Flaherty. Original theme song and additional music by Behold. This episode features the voice talents of Draconix as Enoch, Carolyn Page as Anna, Abby Hepworth as Kelly, Chinook Sarah as Jayamal, Nathan Yaffe as Ned, and Brian Flaherty as Danny and everyone else. Die, the role-playing game, was created by Kieran Gillen and Stephanie Hans and published by Rowan Rook and Deckard. You can find My First Dungeon online at My First Dungeon on Twitter. And if you like the show, the very best thing you can do is open up your podcast player right now, click follow, and leave us a review. And if you want to play Die yourself, the core rulebook is now available at rowanrookanddeckard.com. That's all for this episode. And as always, remember, if you're having fun, you're already doing it right. Badai, everyone.
That's not, no.
We're keeping it. I'm gonna make it happen.
Badai.
Badai.
Hey all, it's Brian. Real quick before you go, if you like this show and you want to support more great seasons, you should head on over to patreon.com/myfirstdungeonpod and jump into the Dice Pool. That's the name of our one and only Patreon tier that's just $5, where you'll get additional actual plays and extended talkbacks each and every month. We'll see you there. Splash.
You like us. You really like us. At least, I assume that you do, as you've listened to every minute of this episode. And yet you haven't already left us a 5-star review? Ugh. Well, what are you waiting for?
get over to Spotify or Apple Podcasts and leave that review now. It's always wonderful to hear words from our adoring fans. Getting more ratings helps people find the show and love it as well. And we love to hear your nice words. So head over to Spotify and Apple Podcasts and leave us that 5-star review. Ta-ta!